All right. It's been a while. I hope everybody's doing good. It's been a long, long time. Hey, all right. Hope everybody had a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, all throughout the world. Peace and blessings. All right. Yeah, I've been busy. Been very busy. Family ties. Busy, busy, busy. All right. So, those who've been following and listening and reading and doing your research, um, if you need to catch up or you could listen to the last other videos I did. So I marked the book, marked where we was at. So all right, so I'm just gonna go straight to the point. All right, chapter 15, Genesis chapter 15, right? Okay, so let's read. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision. All right, Abram had a vision. All right. Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Elazar of Damascus? And Abram said, Behold to me, thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. All right, verse 4. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. Well, we know they didn't speak like this, but let's say we're reading Old English right here. All right, and he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now toward heaven, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees to give thee this land to inherit it. Now you see in verse 5 and verse 6, they try to put other chapters in the New Testament, Romans 4, Hebrew, trying to relate it to, to the New Testament, maybe pertaining to Jesus, etc. But in original language, it's never like that. So anyway, do your research and find out for yourself. But that's like tampering, but to other people, it's okay to try to relate an Old Testament verse to a New Testament verse, and it may have nothing to do with it. It just could be two different situations, which they are, but people do try to make a relationship. But all right, the but is that people create their own ideology and interpretation by doing that. So do your research to find out. You'll see that it was never originally like this. So anyway, Verse 7, verse 6. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of Chaldeans. That's located in Mesopotamia. So to give thee this land to inherit it. And he said, Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said unto him, take me an heifer of 3 years old. All right, this is God saying. He said, Lord God, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? Okay. In verse 9, and he said unto him, take me an heifer of 3 years old, and a she goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Okay. What he's going to do with that? And he took unto him all these and divided them in the midst. So he had to chop them up. He had to divide them, right? And lay each piece one against another. But the birds divided he not. Okay. He didn't cut the birds up. And when the fowls came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. They seen blood, they seen animals all chopped up and all that stuff. So, they're going to come down and try to eat it. So, all right, so Abram drove the birds away. All right. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall inflict them 400 years. A lot of, sets like Israelites, what they call black Israelites, or don't like to use the word black, but they say Israelites like to say black people in America. This verse is pertaining to us because we've been here in the wilderness of North America for 400 years. Sounds good, but, there's no facts that, black Americans are descendants of Abraham. We're definitely descendants of different parts of Africa, west part of Africa, and some of the east, but east part of Africa, but I don't know about. But anyway, that's a whole different topic. So, yeah, do the research on that. Anyway, 400 years. But yeah, if you want to convince somebody and you got an ideology and you want to interpret that and use that to relate to African descent people in America doing slavery, sounds good. So if a person hears that, don't have knowledge or don't do research or just lost and just coming to life of learning about themselves, and they hear something like that, you could get misled, or you could convert, or you could agree with it, or it sounds good, feels good, so you'll roll with it, but it sounds good, but may not be true. But to each his own. So in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall inflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. Like I said, it sounds good. Is it true? We've been afflicted, African descent people in the Caribbean and Africa, and in Africa, in America, you know, have been mistreated for many years. So can't just say just for, but they say it's a seed, right? A seed of Abraham. But yeah, so gotta do some research on that. But and you gotta have facts. You gotta do a blood test. You gotta go back. You gotta barely any facts about Abraham being in existence. you know, there's no burial ground. There's no ancient tablets even speak of him. Akasha records, the Enuma Elish, or the Epic of Gilgamesh. Ancient Egypt, Book of the Dead. Yeah, there's really no history on that or pertaining to Abraham, But anyway, off the topic. Let's continue to read. Those who wanna, don't wanna, get anybody upset, etc. Just do your research, find out for yourself, and read with understanding, so you could overstand of what are you believing and knowing and getting into. So, verse 15, thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Okay. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. In the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram. All right, so smoking. It came to pass that when the sun went down and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. So something came down amongst the pieces that he had cut. Yeah. And the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates, the Kenites and the Kenizzites and the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephaims and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites. Yeah, well, that's it for now. We'll be on chapter 16. Yeah, we'll be on chapter 16 next time. So wherever you at, be at peace. Do your research, read many books, ask questions. Think, research, learn. Watch documentaries, videos, books, languages. Do as much research as possible. Think about it. Think. Read word for word, so you can have an understanding of what's really going on and what you're reading and what you're getting into. So be at peace. Talk later. It's been a long time I haven't done a video, but yeah, we've been busy. So, again, we'll be at chapter 16 next time, Genesis chapter 16. Talk soon. Blessings.